You have to promise me that if Thanos comes to get me, you have to kill me.
I can't. I can't do that to you.
You have to.
If you want me to, I'll do it. Bret, what are you doing?
I'm moving so slow that I'm undetectable. You can't see me.
Oh, hi, Bret.
Bret, I never knew you were a Marvel fan. I'm Josh Elliott.
I'm Daria Harris.
I'm Bret Williams.
I'm Liberty Parker.
I'm Jaylen Diller.
I'm Lauren Timbrook.
And today we are reviewing Avengers Infinity War! This is the movie where basically the MCU changes forever. This movie, in my opinion, did not disappoint. I didn't think that they would do what they did. I didn't see it coming.
I didn't see any of it coming. Yeah.
Thanos is trying to get all the Infinity Stones, these vessels of like unlimited power, and if he snaps his finger, half of the universe will be wiped out. What I was so impressed by was they were able to balance so many characters in one movie. Like, I think they at least had a cast of 26 plus characters.
I feel like each character got a portion of time for their story. Because there were so many characters, you would feel like at least one of your favorites isn't going to get much screen time or whatever. And I feel like, honestly, a lot of people had their moments.
The character with the most character development was Thanos. And I absolutely love that because they kind of tell the story from his perspective. And this is his journey. And this is like his mission to do what he thinks is right.
And I really like how they developed him like throughout the movie. At the start of all movies, when there's like superheroes and villains, like you're automatically like, okay, villain, bad guy. But they really like took the time to actually develop this character and like show some background.
You expect a villain that's going to be completely irredeemable.
I was also surprised at how much screen time Gamora, Doctor Strange, and Thor had.
Yeah.
But that actually made me really happy though that they had like more screen time than like the other characters, because Doctor Strange, for example, he's like fairly new.
I'm biased because Spider-Man's my favorite. Has been since I was like 2. But like, I wish that he'd gotten a little more.
I would say go into spoilers because it's hard to really talk about it.
We're gonna give you like 5 seconds to like get out of here because
at the bottom of the
if
screen.
you haven't seen this movie and you don't want to be spoiled, get out of here. At the beginning of this movie, Loki dies. In that moment, you just realize how menacing Thanos is going to be throughout this movie. And it kind of made me realize that every time he gets another stone throughout this movie, there are going to be casualties, there are going to be losses.
Yeah, but I feel like Loki's death was really underwhelming because Loki's had such a prominent presence in the MCU. I feel like he deserved a more climactic death.
To me, it kind of like hit home like where the direction of the movie was going. Because since he didn't have that climactic death, it was like, oh shoot, they're not joking around.
The movie just started and like, oh, there's a death.
Spider-Man.
He's not dead.
I know, but it seemed like it was.
Spider-Man was the only character I knew was gonna die. Cause I kept on seeing like pictures on my Instagram about like, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
What are you talking about? No, you're alright.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's
What's
happening.
happening? Hey.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Sir, please. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Sorry. One of my favorite things about this movie was the character banter. They used humor really well. Usually the humor came from the heroes interacting with themselves, how they differ from another hero's opinions and stuff like that, and it just made for really good humor.
Yeah, that's my love-hate relationship with Marvel movies, is the fact that they do use humor, like just the quips, so often that sometimes it's like, okay, you're just throwing them in. With this one, there was so much to the plot, but when they used the humor, it was used really well.
The thing that I really liked was that everyone knew Vision was going to die, but then they made it feel like he was going to live.
Okay, let's talk about Wanda for a second. That scene where she was like trying to like fix him at the same time, like she's like sobbing, she's like, ah. Wow, like I feel like her character, like a lot of people like kind of don't focus on her a lot. That's actually crazy.
The fact that her powers could hold off 5 Infinity Stones.
Oh, yeah.
I know, that was insane.
I love you so much.
I love you too. What are you doing?
Excuse me. What are you doing? We're having a moment here. So if you could just, go. We're trying to do something.
Are you kidding me, Disney? You know, you promised me better. And I'm just gonna do Deadpool 2.
In order for Thanos to get the Soul Stone, he has to sacrifice the thing that he loves the most, and that's Gamora. And so he takes her to this planet, they go to this cliff, and then he turns around and he's crying, and he takes her wrist and he throws her off the cliff.
And then the silence.
He claims to care about her so much, but then he threw her off a cliff, and I was just like,
Yeah,
It's just he
that
cares
was
more about taking over the
his
universe.
life
yeah,
goal.
exactly.
I can't ignore my destiny. Not again. Even if it means you. I'm sorry, little one.
In the movie, he gets all the stones. He snaps his fingers. I did not see that coming. I thought they were going to save that for the next one. But no, he gets all of them and he snaps his fingers. Half of the universe is wiped out, and so is half of the roster of the characters in this movie.
It's like paper blowing away in the
They
wind.
turn into
they-
ash, and they just
they're just
blow away.
floating off. I don't think they're dead. I
don't
don't
think
think
they
they
are.
died.
I
They're
don't
somewhere else.
Also, because Doctor Strange, he was like, this is the only way
Yeah.
it
That
can
was
work.
that bothered
He
me
looked
so much.
at all these outcomes, and he said over 600 million, and he says only one way to win. Doctor Strange decides to give this time stone to Thanos. When Tony asked him, why did you do that? He said, that was the only way to win. When Star-Lord lost his
I'm so mad at him.
Here's my
Still.
thing. If you love somebody as much as he loved her, anybody would have reacted.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not saying that I would have been perfect.
And that's
but,
why I was
oh
I'm
my.
okay with that. But he just screwed the whole plan.
Just a little.
But I loved it that happened
Yeah.
because this whole movie is kind of about failure. The
Yeah.
Avengers have this tendency to always get everything right. But in this movie, the whole point is that they put their own personal needs and their own personal loves for each other above the good of the universe, and it ends up costing all of them
Yeah.
everything.
You have to make it to where, at least once, the villain wins. And that's why I love this movie so much.
And I like how they made it so extreme. It wasn't just an, oh no, he
No.
won.
They-
It's literally everybody died.
It's
The
complete
universe is
devastation.
over.
I don't think they're dead. Well, we see when he snaps his finger, there's this orange tint where it's the young Gamora. So my theory is that all the characters that died go into that one orange tinted area.
I want some of them to actually not
I don't
be able
want
to come
some of them to come back.
Because it ruins the effect. If everyone
Yeah.
just comes back after this movie, it's okay.
What was weird to me is that there's people that I expected, and then there's everyone you didn't expect. People
Yeah.
who still have contracts and
Right.
stuff.
I
Right?
was expecting the big three, Thor, Cap,
Captain-
and Iron Man
yeah.
to go, and they didn't.
and none of them.
I'm
I was
assuming that they're
confused.
saving that for the next movie.
I feel like the most overwhelming feeling that you have is just complete defeat. I have no hope. Nothing left.
There's
That's it.
half
This
of
is
the
over.
Avengers left. I can tell that this is the big turning point of the MCU to where they introduce new heroes and they create this completely different feel for the MCU in the future.
Great
that's
Lakes
what this movie is.
Avengers with all the Marvel actors who are retiring and all that. You know that they gotta go.
So
As
I
long as
guess
Spider-Man's still here, I guess I'm
I
okay.
I told you I'd kill you.
You should aim for the head.
No!
This movie is really good. It was definitely something different for the MCU, and I think it impacted it positively a lot because it's about failure and loss. I loved all the characters. It's really long, but you don't feel it. I actually wish it was longer so that it could have given certain characters more time on screen. And obviously it's part one of a 2-part series. Some things are left unresolved. There's some things that I wish for more of, but overall it was great. So I'll give it an 8.
I went into this not really expecting a lot. I usually love almost every Marvel movie that I see, but I wasn't sure about what I was going to see. And so after, I was just really shocked. It was just so good, and I was really surprised by how much I really loved it. Actually, the only thing I would have said is I wish it had been a little bit shorter. Although I enjoyed watching the first time and I was kept entertained, I went back a second time and I was like, okay, I forgot how long this is. And that's the only like downside I would say to it. But I loved the different feeling to the movie. Like, you usually leave a Marvel movie feeling happy.
Yeah.
Let's go. I can't wait for the next one. Like, this one, I was so depressed and I just didn't know what to say. It just left such a different impact than what I'm used to with a Marvel movie, and it was truly amazing. I would probably give it a 9.
I was absolutely blown away. If anyone knows me, I don't get to see movies often, so this was just something that really rocked my world there. I knew what the Infinity Wars were because, you know, comics, that stuff happened. So I go in, I'm like, I wonder who's gonna kill Thanos. Is it gonna be Squirrel Girl, Deadpool? We know how this goes. So I'm probably gonna have to go with an 8 as well. I loved it.
Okay, so I obviously haven't talked as much, and that's partly because I haven't watched that many Marvel movies as I'd like to, but this movie definitely made me want to go back and watch a ton of Marvel movies, and I've already started. I really enjoyed it, and I got emotionally attached to all these characters that I didn't even know their backstories, and so I'm going to give this movie an 8.
I actually walked to the theater so mad. Like, I was actually really mad. Like, most people were really, like, sad about it. I was just like, I'm done. I quit. Like, I hate Marvel. But, like, looking back, it's amazing. It's completely different. Everything that you didn't think would happen, happens. I feel like I'm in, like, the middle range of watching Marvel movies. So, like, I'm really into some characters and other I don't really know yet. Like Jaylen said, like, I really got attached to these characters. I was just really shook. I'm gonna have to go with an 8. I think it was crazy and different, and I loved it.
Oh my gosh. They did it. They did what I never thought they would do. And that just blew me away. I was speechless after the first time I saw it. I was still speechless after the second time I saw it. And even now I'm still speechless. I was literally shaking after I saw the end credits of that movie. It delivered in everything I wanted it to be, and I am a very happy Marvel fan right now. I give it a 9.
The final verdict is an 8.3.
So what did you think about Avengers Infinity War? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Comment and let us know. And do not forget to subscribe to High School Film Nerds.
Peace out!
Where'd they go? Oh my!
Oh no.
Wait.
Thanos?
Guys, I think we were spared by Thanos.
For the good of the universe.
At least it was them and not me.
Do you guys want to go to lunch?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
let's go.
Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in. If you like what you saw, you can watch our last video, and please click here to subscribe. Peace out.